No foul language.
Shit bugger asshole.
Chickens.
Oh, look, Cunty Chops is in. I mean, Hanky.
What about a flaming squirrel?
All right, Steve.
Good evening, ladies. And Hanky. Although Hanky
Now
could come
he's
under both,
insulted,
actually.
see?
Oh, no, Hanky could come under us both, couldn't he? Especially what he was wearing at Expo. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. I did not I did expect it. I can't say I didn't. But to the extent that he went was almost impressive how far he went with that one.
It was different. Evening, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
So what sort of
Right.
week have we all had? You lot.
Just working more.
Yeah, it's not been a bad week.
Well, as you can see, this lot have had an exciting week.
Yeah.
Thrilled beyond belief.
Yeah.
See,
Well,
I'm curious to know what Lee was up to today. What he was
Yeah, I know.
actually up to today.
No,
The
I
guitar
know
show.
what Lee and his dad were up to today.
He was at a guitar show with his dad on that they were trusted
Oh,
to go on
jeez.
their own.
oh,
I get the feeling that
That may not have been wise.
there may be a large bill.
Maybe. No, it just depends. Is it a large bill or a very large bill? Because it's
Oh,
one of
Mr.
the two, Matt.
Armitage, how skint are you?
yeah, we were unsupervised. Brilliant.
He's no
Yep.
better when he's supervised, for God's sake.
Mm.
Well, love Lisa to death, but she's not very good at supervising him. So
No, he's just allowed to buy what he wants.
no, the best when he goes, "Should I get this or this?" She goes, "Well, get them both. You're going to need it." He goes, "You're right."
So, as Tyler's come up with this this week's topic on stress at work, away you go, Tyler. Tell us about the stress at work.
Well, honestly, I figured it was one of those things we could all kind of chip in on because, like Steve was saying in chat about the idea earlier, he's never really had a whole lot of experience with, coworkers or bosses that he's really hated being around,
Oh,
And
No, that's not quite true. What he said was the cure to them was if they piss him off, he'll throw them out the window.
well, that's true.
we don't recommend you throw people out of windows because,
mean-
you see, stress at work. I put under this heading. I saw a T-shirt many years ago that was "Bosses are like nappies. They hang around your ass all day and they're full of shit." And that is very
Yes.
true. No, Lee, you can't throw your fellow workers out of the window. I know you want to, but
Well, not again anyway.
it's not so bad if you're on the ground floor. But if you're
Well, see, that's what I was thinking, Matt, where Lee's at. He's probably
If
got
you're
those
on like
sealed
the-
windows, so it's really more through the window than out the window.
if you're
But-
on like the 6th or 7th floor of no.
I'd have to make sure I put the handbrake on first.
See,
Oh, in
Craig,
your case,
you're
Yeah.
not supposed to do that at 75 miles an hour. What?
The buses won't do 75 mile an hour, let alone 40.
you've
That's what
just
they're
got to
governed
do the classic bus driver's trick is wait till they get up to complain and get the finger wagging and accelerate hard so they fall over backwards.
It's not the first time that I might have done that. It's not the first time that I may have done that, but I braked instead of accelerated.
Well, they should be
And the
sat
bloke went
down.
from the back of the bus all the way to the front and caught his ribs. No, and he clattered his ribs on that metal bar in the front of the. Oh, he must have been feeling that for a couple of days.
Evening, Steve.
Hiya, Steve.
Steve.
Hope you're doing better.
And his mate turned round. Told you he was going to fucking do that. You shouldn't have fucking done that.
When you got your mate telling you you're an idiot.
So
Yeah.
I do have visions of Craig. I have visions of the Bob Newhart sketch, the bus driver's school.
Oh God, I forgot that sketch. Yeah, I've just got
No, you left too soon. You didn't let them think they had a chance of catching the bus as they're running along the side. And the other one is the art of accelerating and braking. And if you do it right, you can get them to pirouette all the way down.
I may have had that on Friday as well, as I've pulled away and someone's... As another passenger turned around and said, "Oh, you weren't very helpful there."
Yeah.
I didn't see anyone else moving, so I went. He did manage to get round to the next stop. Just. He wouldn't have if there weren't two people there wanting to get on.
Come on then, Tyler. Let's hear your stories about stress at work.
Well, I mean, you got to remember, I started out in fast food for almost 7 years. You know, I've had everything from being cussed out, you know, called every name you can think of, to food thrown at me, and full out fist fights start over someone not getting their order correctly. I mean, there's reasons that I left that job, you know, so many years ago and never turned back. Like, I can't.
I
just can't
do
do it.
You're right, free rider.
I can't go into work every day and expect something horrible to happen every single day and have to deal with that. That's not how I'm going to feel like I want to actually, you know, provide for myself and my family every day.
Don't go into a job that's in retail.
Or public transport.
Or catering.
In fact, don't get a job, because there's stress in every job.
Well, then you've got the shop I'm in now, when you have a owner that will get about a foot from your face and scream bloody murder at you and cuss you out if you know, don't do everything the second he wants it done. So
only once they would do that, I promise you. Only
it
once.
was there was one day it almost got really bad.
You just do.
Lucky for him, my other supervisor was standing behind him about 20 feet and was shaking his head like a little kid about to get busted for stealing the Oreos, going, "No, don't do it. Don't do it."
Here's an idea.
All you just do is you go and stroke the face. "I love you when you're angry. Can I call you daddy?"
Best part, Craig, he did this during COVID. He did during COVID, and then after the fact goes, "You have your vaccine, right? Because I'm susceptible and I have a low immune system. You were just a foot from my face, no mask, screaming at me."
You should have just walked up and licked the side of his face and then walked off.
Dude, this is the man that I've seen walk through a shop, touch a piece of pipe that was just painted, get paint on his hand, and 4 other supervisors freak out and start screaming, "Somebody get me a towel! Somebody get me something to clean his hands!"
Get your own fucking towel.
That just proves what a moron he is.
It does rather.
You know?
It really does. But you see, you're talking about bosses. Bosses generally are arseholes, let's be honest. Most bosses are dickheads. Members of the public are far worse.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because they feel entitled. Especially more nowadays than ever. The entitlement. And added to the, especially driving buses and stuff, added to that, you've got if you turn around and call, like, "I would just, all right, darling," or "all right, whatever," you've got all this pronoun bullshit. So you can't.
Yeah, especially when they're, "Don't call me darling." "I'm sorry, sweetheart." "Don't call me sweetheart."
Just blow them a bit, The birth of the Karen. I think the Karen has always been there, Steve.
Yeah, it's just more prevalent.
I think they've just, and we're to blame because as
Well, the
we've
internet's giving
allowed
them the
them.
fame behind things too.
The more you allow these people to do it, the more they will do it because they then feel it's okay. They can treat people like shit because they've had a bad day or they're not happy with their life. So it's all right to like belittle other people. It's all right to pick on other people.
I was going to say, I mean, it all started with the feminist movement in the 80s, and it really got militant in the 80s.
I was pretty lucky with my job because I tended not to be around many customers, so which is a good thing for them and me.
Mm.
So I didn't have to deal with many customers. It's very rarely I had customers who were complete like dickheads. Very rare I dealt with them. Just dealing with them in an environment like working on a bus or working in retail, it's like nah.
When you got to remember too, because when I did fast food, that was Taco Bell, and we were open until 5 o'clock in the morning with all the drunks all night.
Hang on, did you just use the word food with Taco Bell?
Well, it's food shaped.
It's semi-edible. I didn't say it's
Semi being the operative word.
It's not
It'll stay in you
digestible
very long, but it is what it is. Right. It's not digestible, but
it comes out the same shape as it went in.
Especially if you saw the cooking method they used to prepare everything.
Stop there, Tyler. We do not need to be scarring people, giving them PTSD from your cooking.
Yeah, but we have witnessed your shake and bake cooking.
Hey, my at-home cooking is at least better than the damn Taco Bell stuff. Come on, give me some credit.
That says a lot about Taco Bell, that doesn't
it?
The only person I have ever seen make pancakes in a microwave.
They're pre-frozen pancakes.
I mean, what country? What?
Hold on a second. You are from a country that generally knows how to make pancakes.
Apparently not.
And you buy frozen pancakes.
Yeah, but a pancake is not rocket science to make.
No.
I can make pancakes for fuck's sake. You know.
Well, I think it's the American system of convenience. You know, everything is flash frozen. Everything is microwavable. You know.
Yeah, you have drive-through fucking alcohol.
Oh yeah. Dude, probably because it's new headphones, Hanky, and it's quite a new. They pick up quite easily.
Is that better now, Hanky?
But I mean, no, Matt. My state's one of the ones that has the drive-through convenience stores everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, the one right over here that is, well, it's foreign run, but all the signs we ID. What I've never seen them ID a single person that has went in through that drive-through ever. First of all, it's got every kind of canned and lower end bottled alcohol that's not actual liquor you can possibly think of. It's got a glass section and a head shop in it. Oh yeah.
It just worries me, the whole thing that you have drive-through convenience store. You don't even have to walk down into the store.
Oh no, they literally have coolers running both sides all the way down, so you have to look at your windows to look at the cooler, see what you want as you drive through, and then you order at the end.
Do you know, I remember having drive-through off licenses in the UK back in the 90s. It was called a Ram Raid.
Yeah.
That is very true, that, Lee, actually.
Yeah.
Equal rights should include the bad as well as the good.
Mm.
No, I totally agree, Wheelie. I totally agree.
The one that always annoys me is equal rights works both ways.
Yeah.
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 Because the whole equal rights thing is a two-way street. The way they want equal rights, now, in this country, we still have this basic, shall we call it chivalry? A
Yeah.
gentleman would hold open the door for a lady.
Uh-huh.
Simple things. It's when you get you hold the door open for some woman walking past, and she screams in your face because you hold the door open. But if you let the door go, she'd scream in your face for letting it go. You know, it works both ways.
Do you know, Mel, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. That it really doesn't. Unfortunately, that's not uncommon in the UK either. It really isn't. I've got disability. Well, I think all of us have got one disability of one kind or another, you know. But I don't mind somebody taking the piss out of my disabilities, to be honest, because I take the piss out of them myself.
But it's also a difference when it's to your face or talking behind your back to somebody else because they, feel a certain way.
I mean, there's taking it and doing it in fun, and there's doing it like that. What gives that person the right to do that? It's.
I mean,
I don't know.
I know. Certainly, you and I met fun out of our own disabilities, Matt.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's the only way to cope with them sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, I go see my doctor, and I will crack a joke somewhere in that consultation because it's the only way I can cope. It's the only way I go in there, can let them know something serious, and not just collapse crying because I'm in too much pain. I've got many things of concern.
Mm-hmm.
I think people see as I don't know about you, that boss, Mel. People see disabilities as a weakness, okay, but there are a lot of people who have disabilities, be it physical or mental.
Mm-hmm.
But by God, they make up for it in other parts of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So just because somebody has a disability, they can't walk, or just because they have that disability does not mean they're not more than capable in other sections of their life.
Yeah.
Well, it's when people see them as an inconvenience just for being themselves,
Yeah. I mean, it does seem to be an issue in America, doesn't it? There does seem to be a culture of that in America. Certain people, certain individuals. Yeah, we know you've got no legs. What do you want, a fucking medal, Steve? Fuck's sake. It's like Motley without legs, isn't he?
Gimme.
Thing is, Steve, unfortunately, you've lost your legs because of diabetes and so on. But that doesn't mean it changes. Well, it does change who you are. It does change, but it doesn't change you as the person that you are.
Yeah.
Which changes how you have to do certain things, obviously, and
It's going to make life. It will make life more difficult in areas, obviously, but it doesn't mean you can't still enjoy life and have a good life and whatever you want to do.
I mean, he can still get those short cowboy boots and just do it that way.
No, what he could do is he could get the two
God.
coconuts and do the coconut thing.
Do the Monty Python thing.
Mm-hmm. Do the Monty Python coconut.
I really, for Halloween, I want to dress Stevie up as the Black Knight from Monty Python.
Just scratch.
That'd be great. Just go and deposit Stevie outside someone's door and knock on the door and run.
Come back, I'll bite your legs off.
That'd be hilarious. It'd be great. I think you got to laugh at some disabilities. I really, if you're laughing with the person, it's different. It really is.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you're taking the piss out of the person, then no, it's really not. It's because obviously some people it is a lot worse. But that again, like Mel said there, it's just proof that bosses are. And it just proves that bosses just are assholes. They really are.
I mean, we're talking about it this afternoon. My direct boss didn't understand where my head was and where my head went.
Neither do you.
True. Fortunately, the works manager did understand. So if my direct boss was getting on my case badly and it was getting to me, I could just go have a word with the works manager. Next thing I know, my direct boss is being chewed out in his office.
Yeah.
For being unreasonable.
Yeah.
Because the reason I would sometimes slack off and start messing about would be jobs were backed up because of parts issues. I'd done everything I possibly could because I'd run out of storage space for all these part-done jobs.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to look at G with his disability.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Glaswegian. I'm going to get a fuck off from chatting a minute. I can see it.
See you later, Steve.
Yeah, right, G. See you later, Steve.
See you later, Hanky. See you later, buddy. The whole disability and how, I mean, there is supposed to be in businesses, they're supposed to be now. They're supposed to be like, it's supposed to not be allowed, that type of thing. Unfortunately, I don't think it's changed the policies they brought in. I don't think it's really changed.
I've had to really cheer G up. I've seen how we're going to get the album out first, and they're actually doing a tour this year.
Oh, God, no, he's not going to do it. No.
How we are finally doing a tour.
Oh, you lot had to bring up the A word.
What, are we?
Yes.
Man, G coming in firing up. Damn.
Hey, it was you that brought up about anthrax before the show, Tyler.
That's true.
How'd I do that one?
Saying in mocking G. Try to drop Tyler in it now. Where were we? Bosses, stress. Come on, Tyler. We need some stories from your work.
Oh God.
Well, you do that. I'm going to go and get a drink.
See, and he fucks off. See.
Go on, you're safe now. The boss is gone.
Honestly, one of the most annoying ones I ever dealt with is I worked for one of the local dollar stores for a while, and the GM was actually all the people besides me that worked there were her personal friends that she had hired in. So they all sat there and just hung out all day long. And the night shift when I came in, nothing was done. Then I got fired for not doing my stuff plus their stuff plus customers, plus, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a fun one. Given Carmen was also an SOB because the person, 2 people above her, got fired for not dealing with it sooner, about a month after I got fired. So.
But I mean, in the States, you've got a lot more problems when it comes to workers' rights and
Oh yeah. Well, remember, I live in Natwell State, so unless you have a union behind you, you can literally walk into any job in the state at any time. They go, yeah, we don't want you here anymore. You can go ahead and you're fired. You can leave with no reason whatsoever. They can legally do that.
Yeah. You see, we've got some protection, but also we have things like holidays, sick pay.
It all depends where you work, what you get for that. Like where I'm at, I get vacation time and I get 2 unpaid sick days.
How much vacation time though, Tyler?
After being there this many years, 88 hours a year.
88 hours.
And that's including the 8 hours bonus that I get for my birthday.
That's
11 days. 11 days.
Yeah.
That's not even half what we get.
One thing, I can only say I would take a full week off. I can only put in 40 hours for that week.
Yeah, we only get our flat rate unless we've been working a lot of overtime in the weeks up to it.
Yeah.
Then sometimes we will get if everybody else is still working overtime, we would get the overtime rates.
Oh, see, even how we're in overtime right now, if I took a vacation next week, I would get my basic pay rate straight through, and that'd be it. Given I also would only be putting in, the minimum 40 hours, it wouldn't be overtime technically at that.
You see, the issue I have with America and the way your laws work is you have to join a union and pay union members fees to work at your job.
Yeah, and the level of my union dues are extensive. We'll put it that way.
I'm sorry, right? I'm going to go into a little bit of corruption here in America. Not saying about Tyler's boss, honestly, but it would appear that you have to join a union to work in certain trades in America. Right? We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a painter and decorator, if you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, blah 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 blah. Well, we all know that these unions generally are run by one particular group of people, should we say. They're always run by dodgy concerns, usually going back in the old days to the mafia and the mob, because it's how they pay and skim off money and don't pay taxes to the IRS. Now, I'm not accusing your boss of being dodgy. I wouldn't do that, would I?
No, I mean that would be a horrible thing to actually.
But let's just say I have looked into your boss, and I have looked into the sort of man that he is. Obviously, not saying too much about him. Allegedly, of course. But the issue you've got is you've either got to go and get another job,
which
you struggle.
currently here is good luck.
Like anywhere in the world, you're going to struggle.
Plus, I've been there just long enough that my raises have added up to a decent pay rate at this point now, and I'd be restarting at zero somewhere else.
Okay, what is your... I don't want to know what your weekly wage is. What is your hourly wage?
It's 27.5.
That's before any deductions.
Yeah, that's my basic rate.
Okay. Basic wage for welding here, a basic wage, depending on the firm, but basically is £32 an hour.
Oh, I know I'm underpaid compared to some of the guys that I work with too. That's the thing.
And we're not having to pay, unless you want to, union charges. You'll also have to obviously pay into your insurance for your medical. This is what makes me laugh with Americans, and I'm not. It sounds like I'm not picking on you, Melissa. I'm just picking on Tyler. You're paying out all these fees. Yes, your wage might be good, but when you work out what they're taking off you, it's shit.
Yeah.
I wonder. Here, let me see if I can pull something up real quick, just for.
There's a reason.
Conversation.
There's a reason your boss is a multi-millionaire. That's all I'm going to say.
No, you dip your toes in enough situations.
The thing is, effectively, you will be charged out at $80 or $100 an hour.
But the thing is that, G, here, if you want to join a union, I personally don't agree with unions, but if you wish to join a union, you can. You don't have to. It's not a compulsory thing. You know, I know some people believe unions are a good idea, and sometimes, yeah, unions can be good depending on the union, and sometimes it is probably a good idea. You know, I know, Craig, you're involved in that sort of side of things for your work.
Yeah.
It probably is a good thing to be involved.
Which is a good thing because they actually go through the rosters, go through the duties, have a legal agreements that the company have agreed to, that they usually try and push the boundaries of. They assist with any customer complaints for any of the members. I haven't had to go for a meeting for quite some time. I'm sure there's one very, very well overdue.
It's been
yeah.
All right.
Oh, it's been at least 2 years.
I'm not going to give exact numbers, obviously, but roughly, mind you, this for last year, I had very, very minimal overtime for last year. It was still over $2,000 in union dues for the year.
That's a lot of money.
That's what I mean, G. Like G's just said, some unions are very good. And it's just me personally, in the sort of work I did, unions would have been pretty pointless for me. And with the whole thing back in the 70s of unions when they got far too powerful and turned into like...
the union camps and union stores, and
they just got ridiculous. You know, you can't pick that cup up. You can't pick that cup up. No, that's my job, not your job. Right, everybody out. You got stupid. If a union's doing its job properly, then yeah, I think a union is a worthwhile thing. You know, I think it's a worthwhile, like in Craig's. If Craig does get one of these arsehole complaints from a customer who is a dickhead, and most of them are, then it's worth having that there to help you. It's definitely worth having it. But I'm not being funny, Tyler. The amount of money they're taking off you, mate.
And think that's all percentage based on what I make. That was at my lower pay rate and with almost no overtime.
Oh, right. So it's a percentage-based union dues.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Someone's getting a nice little amount of money, aren't they?
You see, it's like just
put it this way, Craig. We have our actual meetings at the union hall every so often, right? Most of the time, it's during negotiations and voting and all that. Our last one we went to was about 10:30 in the morning. I wouldn't even be able to tell you how fast almost everybody in that room went into the full kitchen that is in the union hall, into the giant double-door industrial refrigerator to grab one of about 8 or 9 different brands of beer in multiple case packs in this fridge. And that's all this fridge was for. Keep in mind, we're only in that hall once every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, somebody's enjoying himself.
Right. So what are the guys that actually work in the hall on a daily basis doing all day long? I can't say, I'm not there. But
so, well, we can see where your union dues are going. They're buying all the beer.
All the beer.
Shoot, the only reason I wasn't complaining is they had a beer I hadn't had in a while, and it's when you can't even get in Ohio. That's what made it even worse. You can't even get this beer in Ohio. And they had like 3 cases of it.
Why have we got Smokey and the Bandit? Are they running cores across state lines and stuff now?
Yeah, we got the nice rollbacks on the semis now, Matt.
Honestly, it just. You think it's like G said, his union really helped him when he had time off and through illness and so on. And that's great. If a union does that, that's great. That's what a union should do. That's brilliant.
Oh, see, if I have something like that happen and I have to take time off something severe like that, I will have certain amount covered by the union. But I think it's only, I don't even think it's half your normal wage. I think the last time I had a buddy that had bad surgery, it was somewhere around a couple $100 a week.
Which is nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And yet you get people, I've heard other Americans saying about workers' rights in America and how good they are. And it's like,
there aren't any workers' rights in America, even with the union.
It's ridiculous.
Can they tell me where they're working and what state it's at? Fuck.
I just... don't start doing quotes from Smokey and Bandit, Lee.
I mean...
That's a movie I need to watch again. No, that's a movie I need to watch again. That's been too long.
Bitch.
I mean, the thing is, the way the American employment system's built
Martin.
is all stress. You're right, Martin. Is going to lead to workplace stress.
Hey, Martin.
Because everything you do, you're having to second think it.
Yeah.
You know, your car breaks down. You've got to get to work no matter what.
Yeah. It does.
The best part is
my car breaks down. I phone up, say, car's broken down. I've got to fix it. And they go, right, fine. See you tomorrow. I'll see you this afternoon or whatever.
You see, the other problem is it's corrupt anyway because your unions, your boss is essentially paying for your union meetings.
Think about that. And you should see the size of the union hall.
So your union is never going to go in to fight for you against him, ever.
Oh, we actually had an issue at our last meeting about something happened in the shop between a couple people. and they contacted the union, you need to come down and delegate and be there for the meetings. Neither of the people that are in charge ever showed up or set foot in the company. And that turned into a whole HR situation.
Lee, you're a tick turd.
Same thing. I have that to deal with, and then Walmart released that as of next week they're officially doubling pretty much all their prices because of tariffs.
Yeah,
and of course, selection on what you're being able to actually get is going to go down drastically.
All hail to the great orange pillock.
Like I finally got overtime, was able to actually get a good extra, like enough to last me over what this week needs, grocery haul and everything. And now next week, who knows what I'm going to end up with the same amount of money.
With the way the tariffs are going in America, mate.
It's not just how much you're going to be able to get. It's going to be how much is available.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And think how America is. Everybody panic buys.
This is what we've been on about, Martin. Is how the difference. We're talking the show. We're talking about stress in work, but we've got a little bit sidetracked, like as normal. Surprise, surprise.
But it is related.
It's just how America is, with Tyler's work. It's so corrupt. I personally, I'm not a union person, but I also can see from Lee's point of view. Sorry, from Craig's point of view, why Craig would go into a union, because it is worth doing. The union does a good job. It does a good job. Great. Your union.
Steve's last comment there.
Yeah, probably having a piss in it.
Oh, that was Mank.
Now, could you imagine driving by the pawn shop and just seeing somebody sticking their head out the window hitting a Mac?
I'd love to hit Mank. Not Mank, a Mank.
You could send certain people over here. They would walk through the drive-through convenience store, and nature would take its course.
Yep.
He could also go over and show you how to cook.
Yeah.
Do you want me? I'll tell you a funny story. I'll tell you a funny story.
Craig, were you in the other night when we found the videos of what was he making? Toad in a hole?
Yep. With onion gravy.
Right.
That looked like water.
Please tell me you just didn't drop the onions in the gravy uncooked.
No, don't be. He's not that bad. No, he put them in a pan first.
And sauteed the onions dry.
He didn't cook the onions down. He just put them in a dry pan.
Right.
And then added some gravy to it.
If you can call that gravy.
So you went
with the pre-mixed instant stuff.
I don't know who did the cutting of that onion. It looked like it had been done with one of Gwendolyn's plastic knives.
He could have used a bag of frozen onions.
Oh no, they were fresh.
No, they were fresh onions. These were not the frozen ones you buy are better cut than these.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: his skills with a knife are not surgical.
His skills with his knife are about the same as his coil building.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I could prepare a meal quite happily. I could use that, and I would do better at cutting stuff up and making it better than he did.
Well, not only that, your knife is probably sharp.
Oh yes, it's sharp.
Would you let him loose with a sharp knife?
Martin, I used to work for a Japanese company, so I understand their work logic quite well, and I like their attitude. Evening, Lisa. Hope you're well.
Lisa.
The Japanese attitude towards work
Hi, Lisa.
is very much. They believe in working hard, but they also believe in rewarding people for good work. And what I like about the Japanese attitude, unlike in America or the UK, if you go to a boss here or you go to a boss in America and say, I've got a good idea. If we do, blah, 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 we would save money and we would increase workflow. The boss then nicks your idea, takes it as his own idea, and fucks you off and gives you two fingers.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese, if you have a good idea, and I know this is true because it happened with me, if you have a good idea and you go to your boss and you tell them, look, I've had an idea, I think this might work if we do this. Right, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll give that a try. If you do that, you get rewarded. They'll usually either give you a pay bonus or they'll give you like a present in your. So they don't take credit for it. They give you the credit for it. They're very good like that. The Japanese, they're very honourable people.
My work's funny about it. As long as you don't go to your boss first and you go to the engineers in the shop that are actually going to build the stuff and tell them first, so you have backup that it was your idea, nobody else's. Then you go to the boss. Then the boss takes credit for your idea, but then pays you on the backside through the company for the idea.
Can we just do a rewind? Engineers. You called those idiots you've got at your place engineers.
Okay, they do the actual manufacturing and production of all the bigger pieces for the shop.
Anybody that does what you told me the other day with a piece of pipe and just drills a big hole and then welds it round the seam.
Oh no, that's the other shop across the street. That's not the guys in my shop.
Somebody needs whacking with a piece of pipe.
Oh, trust me, I couldn't believe it when I saw it come back.
You know, that's got no, it's triggered me. That one triggered me. It seriously has. It's just like,
dude, how do you leave over 3.5 to 4 inches of overhang on the inside of the pipe for the outlet?
Easily.
Like,
yeah, do the job badly.
What he might as well have done is when they welded it like as a T, they might as well just drilled the hole, bung the bit of pipe on the top to rest it there, and just welded it where it was. It's got no water flow.
It's not going to leak, is it?
No, but there's a good chance it may explode.
There's also a good chance it won't do its job, as you're supposed to be making fire suppression systems.
Yeah, but it's only fire suppression, mate. What's the big deal?
We only do major government buildings, schools, and hospitals. And
that's all right.
Do you do the White House? Okay.
If we have, they actually change names on certain jobs for reasons like that. So unless somebody finds the address and actually looks at the address, which is the best part, the address stays the same on the paperwork. The name of the job changes. So unless you look at the other part of the paperwork sheet, you don't know what it is. But if you
that's top secret. That is. Who signed this paper?
So it's got blah 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 job, White House underneath it.
Work received and paid for by Mr. D. Trump. Fuck's sake.
Hey, go get a drink.
Idiots.
At the end of the day, Trump's a corrupt idiot anyway.
Yeah.
Fucking cheeky bastard. G coming on here, been cooking nice curry tonight. Not cooked a good curry for a little while, actually. It's been the wrong sort of weather for it, to be fair.
I don't know. I quite like a good curry when it's hot. Trouble is, it's been cold for the last 2 days.
You like a
Are
good curry
you
when
gonna
it's hot?
Are you
or a
gonna go
hot
full
curry when it's
Manchester and
hot?
have some brown sauce on it?
Oh, fuck off with brown sauce. Don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against brown sauce. Like, I know people, it's one of those things. It's just that there's certain things that you don't.
You don't.
Oh, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be a normal HP, is it? It's just going to be a shitty generic.
Oh God, not that cheap shit.
Vinegary stuff. Yeah.
Oh, the daddies.
Be like Asda Smart Price brown sauce.
As the
Yeah,
smart
for some reason, it's green at this point.
I don't suppose you've ever had brown sauce, to be honest, Tyler.
No, they don't. And unless I would find it in like a specialty place somewhere, I've never seen it anywhere here.
Yeah, I like HP. I do like HP sauce. HP. On a bacon sarnie, yes. Just later. While we're on cooking, I do like. I just got into getting proper Canadian maple bacon again. Proper bacon, not American bacon.
I'm allergic to bacon anyway.
If you say turkey bacon, I'm kicking you off.
You're allergic to bacon.
Okay, I can't have pork.
You can't. Kick him out now. Kick him out now. Sorry. Sorry. Oh,
That's better.
That wasn't. That was cruel. That was cruel.
I know. I'm playing Craig.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was funny though.
No, you can't blame Craig for that. That was me. That was 100% me, mate.
Oh God, I don't think I could live without bacon.
Dude, besides, and Matt, close your ears. 'Cause I'm going to tell them what I discovered that I can actually have. It's going to hurt your brain. I know. I can't have cured meat either. So I had to find uncured turkey strip bacon.
Now, is that because of the curing, or
it's something in the curing
what they
process?
put in it?
It's something in the curing process, probably the chemicals and everything they use with it that activates my allergies. And then pork in general, just I have some problems from not having a gallbladder. So
right.
But yeah, past having that fake, turkey bacon, whatever you're gonna call it, the last like month or so, I haven't had anything remotely close to bacon in about 12 years.
I'll tell you what, geez,
I can suggest something not even remotely close to bacon. Vegan bacon.
Oh,
that does not sound a bad recipe, actually. What G's done. Yeah, I'll go for that.
Good. Yeah, I could.
Sounds pretty. Yeah. Nice. Very nice, G.
Mm.
Martin, I was gonna be with you, man. I was gonna try, but then you said mayo.
Martin, I don't want to fall out you. You're a prick. You're wrong.
Yeah, that is just wrong on every level.
Why do vegetarians have to have all of their burgers and sausages and everything? Why do they have to be vegetarian sausages? Why have they got to be burger shaped or sausage shaped?
And why do they have to call them sausages, burgers, and bacon?
You're a vegetarian. We've got our subject here, Bill. But I just don't get it. If you want to be vegetarian, that's fine.
Why does everything have to look and taste like meat if that's what you're trying to get away from?
Exactly.
Yeah. But it doesn't taste like meat, though. It doesn't have the texture of meat. It's
I've
like
never
those
tried
old
anything of
grey
the
school
plant-based
rubbers.
stuff. Well, I take that back.
They're like the old grey school rubbers that used to.
I tried not to
Martin.
eat them.
Greg's sausage rolls. Vegan sausage rolls from
They
Greg.
literally had
Oh my God.
they had soy patty hamburgers in my middle school. That's what they served us every day.
That
Yeah,
is
but
just wrong. That's torture.
Look, I understand there are people who have to have a vegan diet for whatever reason. I get that.
There
Okay.
are some, yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And most of those people who have to do it because of dietary reasons don't sit there and tell everybody who eats meat, you're a murderer, you shouldn't eat steak, you do blah, blah. They're just like, look, this is what I have to eat. It's a dietary thing. That's it. Boom. End of.
Well, a lot of them, if they had the choice, they would eat meat because
it's
well,
just like
the choice, why wouldn't you?
like these fucking psychotic activists who go on about how cruel it is for me to eat steak. Well, you know what? I don't care.
I've got news for you. I'll
I
go out and kill it and butcher it.
You say that I actually had a woman in years ago in Tesco's. I was buying a piece of steak. Do you know what happens to the animal when it's murdered and starts going on about murder? And I was like,
Yes, I do.
And
Yes.
I looked at her. I went, yeah, I do. Have you seen how they're treated? I went, yes. She went, you wouldn't be able to do that. I went, yes, I would. I've worked in an abattoir. I said, I will quite happily. I said, I used to go shooting and kill rabbits and eat them.
Yeah.
I said, I don't eat. It's not a matter of I enjoy killing things. But if I'm going to kill something for food,
you're going.
And I will use it and I will eat it.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Think about fishing. There's two sides of fishing. There's the eating fishing, and then there's the sport of fishing.
You sick bastard, Martin. Oh. It's not the
anyway. With those pancakes.
But no, think about it. Any decent fisherman is going to look at you and go, if I'm not going to eat it, I'm going to take it off, properly. And I'm going to set it back in the water and, and move on my day. It's going to be the sport of fishing.
Yeah.
I just
you have these activists go out there. Why are you killing the innocent animals? I'm not killing the innocent animals. I'm killing the ones that I'm going to actually eat and use properly for what they're here to be used for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Food.
I love the fact. Also, a little chili powder for a slight kick and a black leper. I'll let that one sink in.
No.
I was going to pick G up on the spelling of Rue, but I'm not going to.
G, I don't mind if you want to use lepers. If you want to use a leper in your cooking, that's fine. But let's not be racist.
What if it's an ex-leper?
Ex-leper.
For dinner, for my whole life story.
Oh, sorry, that's great. I mean, he's really going for some different ingredients. I'll give G that. I personally have never tried leper in my cooking, but take one leper.
I bet you it's really gamey.
It would be gamey, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Free the sausage. Lee, I don't want to know what you're doing. Just
every time he has left unsupervised something like this.
Free the sausage.
Squirrel.
Sorry. It's just because the mic on these new headphones pick everything up.
If you want to get more cheese flavour, G, the other thing you can use is a tiny bit of mustard powder.
I thought you were going to be a smart ass and say cheese.
Not American mustard, because Americans can't do mustard to save their life.
I've never tried. I'm not a mustard person anyway, but the few times I've tried it in my life, it's been horrific.
Oh, I'll give you some proper English mustard.
What, half horseradish?
No, proper.
No, proper English mustard.
Made with the powder. That's
okay, Matt. Let's get out of that mindset. We're not putting powders in our foods here, bud.
It comes as a powder. That's how it's been made.
You can't, yeah.
Well over 100 years.
Over 200 years.
By fuck, if you make that little bit of water, stir it up. Ooh. Next time I make myself a ham sandwich, I'll send you a picture of how much mustard I put on.
I find just shitloads of cheese makes it cheesy.
That's a good point. See, recommendation from a chef there. More cheese.
Shitloads of cheese. More cheese.
I do love cheese.
Either English or Dijon.
I'll have to give that a try, G, with the Marmite.
Oh, I always get those videos on TikTok for that Spud man over there.
Oh, I've got his cookbook.
He's getting posh now. He got one of the French half-wheel cheese melters coming in. I
tell you what, that man, I love his book. I've got his autobiography and his cookbook. It's really, really funny.
Oh, is really that? I follow him on TikTok. He actually seems like a genuinely good person.
He's had cancer.
Right. That dialysis 24/7, everything else, you know.
Yeah, he's a really cool bloke. He really is. Does a lot for charity.
Take a drink, dude.
Oh God, G's trying to get his summer figure. He wants to wear his bikini.
He's trying to go from an O to a 0.
Hey, no worries, G. You want to have the cheese experience of that actual cheese? I'll send you a bag of the shredded stuff we have here. There's not a lick of cheese in the bag.
Tyler, stop threatening people that come in chat.
Yeah.
With your toxic abomination of food.
Yeah, the toxic waste.
Toxic cheesiness. Real cheddar cheese in a spray can.
I felt all kinds of rich and everything this week. I actually bought an 18-count of eggs, and I could afford to, pay my light bill still.
Excellent. Well done, G.
Nice one, buddy. Well done. That's good going, bud.
Nice.
Oh, well done, Jay.
Yeah, Martin, cheese whiz or whatever they want to call it. It's just... words fail me for it.
Cheese whiz, crazy cheese.
Chemical warfare. Yeah. I'm sorry, why do you want something that is made... is one chemical symbol away from plastic?
Just think, they get the chemical formula wrong one day and you've got silly string.
But it probably tastes better.
Well, funny enough, the way silly string comes out of a can is the same way that easy cheese and stuff comes out of the can. So
that's what I mean. You just need to get the formula slightly wrong one day, and all you've got is silly string. Slightly cheese flavored.
So you're assuming most days they do the formula correctly.
Nice one, Jay. Well done, mate. I'm pleased. I just
No, seriously, G, nice man. I'm in
surely.
the same boat trying to keep myself at a healthy level for everything.
Oh, is that what you're trying to do?
I have lost another 10 pounds. You leave me alone.
He changed his socks.
Kids took it out. Kids took it out of his wallet. Sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, now you're complimenting, saying I actually have enough money to have a heavy wallet. Thanks, Craig.
Do you not have like proper cheese in America? Not.
Yeah, but it's like
not-
anything else. You can't just go to the supermarket to get it. You've got to go to the butcher shop or a special deli or something to actually get it. And then last time I went to get a block of cheese, it was up to like $7 a pound.
Yeah. That's strange, that, because here, if I want cheese, I go to a deli. If I want meat, I go to the butcher's.
Well, it all depends. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you want, depending where you go, some butchers are just butcher shops. Some have the deli counter on the side of it that have, your pre-sliced packages that they've sliced themselves, and then the cheese on the side, But honestly, as far as just a straight deli, there's not many around anymore.
Matt will remember this place, Fletcher's.
Yeah.
You walk in one door, it's the deli. You walk in the other door, it's the cheese counters. It's in the middle, and in the middle, they do hot sandwiches.
Yeah. Yep, Martin, we have talked about this before. We've talked about the crap that they put in. Honestly, and I don't want it to sound, or I don't want the listener to think I'm perfectly, I'm picking on Americans. It's not that, but well, I am picking on Americans, but not directly as in you or Melissa. I'm picking on the fact that the diet in America is so bad. It's
not even like it's just the way people eat. I mean, it is, don't get me wrong. But think about what's available to make the stuff that people are eating.
Well, they've restricted you, haven't they?
Oh yeah.
This is what they've done. We're back to
like I'm literally waiting. I'm waiting about 2-3 more weeks for the small local farm next to my work to open their stand back up for the summer, where I actually can go get for fruits and vegetables, everything from them.
You see, we haven't, like Lisa just said, we have farm shops.
Yeah.
The only way I'm getting to that is if I go back to places that are more like the Amish community style stuff. Then you'll find those small shops.
We don't even have farm. I don't even have a farm shop. We just have a farm.
But I would say you drive around here. There's a lot of the small market gardeners and that. And out front, they've got a table with all the vegetables and an honesty box.
See, couldn't do that here. You'd have everything stolen.
Couldn't do that around here either.
The box too. The box would be gone with it.
They do that around here all the time. They just put the stuff out side of the road, put a box there to leave the money in. Or if they've got like an abundance of eggs or something, they'll just put them out and say, if you want them, take them.
Yeah.
It's that simple. America as a country, they really are. They are keeping you sick. They're keeping you sick as a country.
I'll say America seems to be low level, unhealthy, constantly.
The amazing thing about it is, if you think about this, we'll keep the country ill. We'll keep everybody ill so they get cancer and all these other lovely diseases.
Which, conveniently, being in a nation where all healthcare is funded by the people getting the healthcare.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's the issue. When you've killed off all of these people in that country, which you are, what happens to the country? The country will slowly implode on itself and disappear.
Well, it's imploding anyway,
I
so
was gonna say it
Donald's
already
doing a
is.
good job of that.
Tariffs is doing that to them anyway.
Mhm.
Oh, I can give you a lighthearted note for a second though. RFK Jr., the one about we're gonna find the cause of autism and all that, right?
Squirrel.
He was just seen swimming with his grandkids in a sewage runoff river,
Oh,
like a river that's banned for swimming because of the levels of chemicals and fecal matter from the runoff from the treatment plants.
Nice.
And he literally is being seen in the video fully submerging his head under the water multiple times.
Yeah, he is, but he'll be okay because he's full of shit already.
I can see it now. He came out of the water. I'm home.
Why on earth would you go in a river where you know there's turds floating by?
And take your like under 8-year-old grandkids.
Like I said, this does kind of prove that American education has failed. Not is failing, has failed.
No, I disagree. I totally disagree, Bill. American education has worked. American education is awesome. It has done a stunning job. It has educated all Americans and convinced them that they're a great country. And that everything that comes out the government's mouth is true. So it's awesome education if you think about it.
No, that's called brainwashing.
Yes, it is. But they've done a really good job of it.
Oh, they've been good at it, yeah.
One thing too, the level of education from our country to others, they've capped our level of education as far as general public education goes. No, it'd be like Futurama with the mutants under the city.
Over the years. Have you been to the Ozarks?
Well, yeah, I mean, yes, it is. They are an educated population of robots. Yes, I agree. If you know where the word robot comes from, it's a Slavic word that means slave.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exactly what you are, a robot in America.
Well, look at how the laws are made, and the way they're enforced for that fact.
I had something come up on my news feed today.
Exactly.
Somebody accused of going around trying to breaking into a woman's house by kicking the door down and trying to strangle her and then running off. He was paraplegic and had been for 25 years.
Yep.
Because he'd been shot in the spine when he was 18.
I'm not a slave to humanity. No, William. No, I'm not a slave to humanity, to be perfectly honest. Because to be a slave to humanity would mean I would have to agree with the rest of the world and what they think, and I don't. I really don't. I have my own viewpoints on things. And believe me.
Yeah, definitely not a slave to humanity. Very much a free-thinking, human being.
I believe in having my own thoughts, whether they be right or wrong.
But that's what makes the governments around the whole world see you as a danger or a threat to public safety because you don't fall in line to their ways of thinking.
I hope the government do see me as a danger. That's great. I'm pleased.
You can argue we want the best for every person. But we're also realists and know that it isn't going to happen.
Mm.
I mean, in all reality, we all know this. The world is more on the side of imploding on several different, axes than it is actually being peacefully globally and everything being happy-go-lucky with everybody.
The world has never been a peaceful place. It never will be.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
The world was more peaceful when humans did not exist, and it was the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were more organized and more. It was better for society. Yes, they killed each other. They killed for food and whatever. Human beings are the most hateful, despicable, cruel thing on the planet, without a doubt.
Mm.
Well, it's been said before. The human being is the most dangerous animal and the most self-destructive animal that the Earth's ever seen.
Yeah.
Yes. Even pigs won't shit in the corner they eat from.
Mm.
No, the higher ups here just shit in a corner and try to sell it to the lower class.
No, that's humans.
Yes, it does, Martin. Animal Farm does explain it all.
Yeah. Read Animal Farm a long time ago. Unfortunately, we've got a government that thinks it was a manual.
I was going to say Tyler could go and get the video, but no, don't.
I was going to say wrong video. Wrong video.
I think I've downloaded the wrong video.
The other film that Tyler needs to watch is Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, it does.
That was a book before, wasn't it?
It's a book as well, but the film, the original black and white film, was really well.
Yeah, well, very good.
And it showed how they divided and broke down into societal groups and then broke down. And it was a perfect reflection of humanity.
I totally agree, William. We have got a prime minister. Well, no, we haven't got a prime minister. We have a government who hasn't got a clue what they're doing. And the issue we have is even if by some miracle you waved a magic wand and you got rid of the Labour government tonight, and you said, right, we'll put whoever in power. Who are you going to put in power at the moment? Because nobody in Parliament is fit to stand as a leader.
No. There are several with good ideas on one or two things. But there is nobody with a good oversight.
You know, you've got idiots out there who are saying, oh, we want Farage in power. Oh, great. Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
No.
The last thing this country needs is a moron like that.
All he's doing is playing to the gallery.
Well, of course he will, William. He's going after the same as the last dictator, a small man from Austria. He's going after all of the weak targets. He's going after the weak targets because he wants to be seen to be all-powerful. And that's what a lot of this is about, is it's a power trip.
Well, same thing over here. Look at the comments that are being made back and forth,
Yeah, I mean, even America in some regards is even worse. You've not only got Donald, you've got the other fucking idiot next to him. Who honestly,
I think that, Matt, that's our backup plan.
I wouldn't trust with a Lego set.
Matt, I wouldn't trust him with a Duplo set. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that is exactly it, Martin. The humans are naturally greedy, power hungry, but they will always self-destruct. It's trying to stop people being self-destructive.
Well, and you have to look at numbers too, because it's been said before, one man or woman, probably not the biggest threat in the world as far as, thinking process and everything. Get a good group size people together and let them actually come up with some ideas on what's right and wrong. You're going to come out with some bad options.
Yeah, I read that as well, Jay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they certainly are.
Yeah.
Just look like Lords. I said this though before it went to Lords. Hopefully that there are a few in Lords who do have their head screwed on.
Yeah, without going into a full-on rant, this is why at the start of all of this, several months ago, coming up to a year actually,
Yeah.
we said needs to be taken seriously now before this ends up going out of hand. Oh, look at what shock it has. And it needs to be the bigger people in the review and vaping thing, not just reviewers, also people in the business side of it, UKV, all these other people getting off their asses, stop arguing with each other and sniping at each other like 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Stop going, and I'm going to get nasty now, actually. Stop going to Expo. And this isn't a dig at people like Craig who go there to see friends. Going to Expo and going, oh, haven't we done well this year? Aren't we wonderful? No, you're a bunch of fucking morons. You're at Expo, UKV and other people are there. How much would it take for you to walk across to UKV and say, what are you doing about this? No, don't do it. It will someone else will sort it out. Fuck it. We don't need to worry about it. Well, you fucked it now, haven't you? Vic couldn't save himself. And I personally, and Vic, whoever told Vic about me saying about him buying stuff, and I have no idea who it was.
Oh, he made a comment.
Oh, yeah. Vic,
oh, lovely.
As far as I am concerned, is a joke. Vic couldn't save jack shit. He never has, he never will. He hasn't advocated for vaping, ever, properly. He's criticised others who have. That isn't advocating for vaping. You need to be positive and trying to talk to people and trying to get people on side. Even if you don't get on with somebody, talk to them. Get them on side. Get a group of... We can't do it with the amount of people we've got. But when you've got 70, 80,000 people and you've got big reviewers like that, you get enough of those together, then you've got maybe 500,000 people. If you've got 500,000 people and you're going to the government, then you've got a bit more of a chance. Then they've got to start to listen to you. But they're too busy arguing with each other. It's pathetic. Honestly, it's
what everything always has been in the industry.
It's frustrating.
It's this cliquey, this person, this group versus this group. Oh, we're right, you're wrong. What? We all have the same goal here, don't we? To not have this taken away by some idiots in higher power, so we can stop, the current generation from smoking, from us going back to smoking and everything else.
Yeah. And Jay, if you read the rest of it, Lords have also said any flavour ban and flavour restrictions is likely to have unwanted negative effects.
We all said at the start, you're guaranteed, if they bring in a ban on e-liquid, just on the e-liquid side of things, people are going to start making their own e-liquid, bathtub e-liquid as you used to call it, but black market e-liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't get hold of nicotine. They're going to get hold of dodgy nicotine.
Yeah.
It's going to be clinical. It's not going to be, surgical grade and decent stuff. It's going to be probably meant to be used in like farm.
I would say agricultural nicotine, yeah.
And the last thing you want is to be vaping that stuff. That is going to do damage to you.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Agricultural nicotine can be as low as 80% purity. Pharmaceuticals 99.99.
I haven't heard anything about not being allowed to vape in public, William. Not in this country. There were rumours, I think, in America it might do.
It might be certain states. I haven't heard anything nationwide.
There was talk of areas where children are, like public parks, they might restrict or ban vaping and smoking.
Well, most public parks, you can't smoke it. You're not allowed to. Most public parks have a no smoking area in it. Have no smoking signs on them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I'm not being funny. If you're in a park with children, come on.
Yeah.
Well, you really shouldn't be smoking around children or vaping around children. So,
well, it's like I saw a guy in the supermarket years back, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, walking around with a full size, like actual box mod sub ohm tank, hitting it, going down the aisle, doing his shopping. That's what you have to look at and be like, you're making us all look horrible. What are you doing?
Exactly, Martin. That's exactly what it'll be. It'll be people meeting up, car parks or my mate does e-liquid. Yeah, he does really good e-liquid. He can do it for blah blah blah.
He's got a strawberry.
Yeah, you should see a doctor then. But you're going to have all those dodgy characters doing that.
Well, think about legalization here in the States. I'm going to go to a store for one and have to go to the street for the other, and it's going to be.
Yeah.
The thing is, if it goes to the black market, which it already has with disposables.
Well, yeah.
And I'll get to another point on that one in a minute. Don't let me forget. If it gets to that point, it gets
2
to the
weeks.
black market, yeah, it's not going to be good news. And you're not going to stop it. You're not going to be able to control it.
Not a chance.
Especially when it's still legal to import them into the country.
And what annoyed me is, if Vic is so, I'm doing my bit for advocacy, I'll save it, why the fuck is that little dick reviewing something with 10,000 fucking puffs on his fucking channel?
Yeah.
Sorry, if you've got something to say to me, Vic, you come and say it on here to my face. Because if you can sit there and do a disposable device on your channel when you said you'd never do them, and you did it, 10,000 puff device, and you did it on your channel, when we're coming up to a time when we're looking at all this going on. Now tell me you didn't get paid for that.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that's just a disposable. We said the hit count.
Yeah, 10,000 puffs.
And
he's promoting it. How does that look to the government? The government's going to Google Vape Reviewers UK, yeah? Who comes up first? Vic. What's he reviewing? 10,000 puff disposable. Makes us all look like complete and utter twat. Because that's how the government, they won't look at you or me or Bill or whatever. They will look at the person who is at the top of the list. So they'll look at him.
And is in the public eye about it, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes everybody look like an arsehole. That's why it makes me angry with people like that. Then you've got the other one who's always bitching about vape bans. You've got Sam Bogan, who's always waffling about Australia, even though he's living in the UK.
He's not in there anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I contacted him and asked him if he would do a piece on.
It was quite civil, quite nice, respectful. Yeah. You know, would you or could you, when you've got time, promote the advocacy side in the UK? Get people to, get the message out there.
Well, in all honesty, look at his channel history. It's not like he's never done those in his videos and taken a good 5 minutes every review to do that for how many years and then.
Now, William, you leave Bill and his high heels out of this. It's just the whole. At the end of the day, Vic's going to be out of a job soon because you're not going to be reviewing anything because you won't have anything to review.
Well, none of the vape companies have got marketing anymore.
Well, I think if laws go far enough, it's going to be illegal for him to do any review on anything. You know,
the thing is, Vic was moaning about vape companies not giving him stuff to review, and they were doing it themselves. Well, if I owned a vape company and I'm bringing a new device out, and I've got somebody that can do a video who works for my company, why would I not say to that person that works for my company, here's a job for you, go and do a promo video of the new device. We'll put that out on our channel, on the Instagram and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, on their own YouTube channel, which they use for, digital marketing department.
Exactly, Martin. Vic slagged off eSig1 left, right, and centre. Now all of a sudden they're paying him. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And yes, Lisa. Well, officially, Lisa, Vic's job is a vape reviewer. And he was on, I believe he was on Company House. Or he said he was on Company House.
No, I did check. He was actually registered. Only at the lowest level.
I was going to say, was he registered on Company House or was he just registered on somewhere else?
No, William, speaking of strikes and everything, it was funny. I had YouTube just playing in the background this morning, and 8-10-year-old actual building Red Trooper videos were coming on.
Yeah.
Right. If he's actually, those weren't bad. I'll actually let that play. I don't mind. You know what I mean? When he's actually sitting there making coils, explaining it. Okay, sure, whatever. Tell me why all of his reviews, all of them, still have all full packaging and all the videos. Nothing is blurred out or censored. There's still the .coms, QR codes on every video.
Yeah.
Now look at subscriber count. Now why is he not getting strike down for all? You know what I mean? Look where money really does flow.
Well, of course he could, Lisa, and he has been making a profit out of it. Don't worry. I will say something after the show if you come in after the show. Let's just say Vic makes money from what he does.
Oh, is that how he afforded that RC car engine mod or whatever that thing was?
God, that looks crap. It looks like somebody's got an old RC car engine, stuck it on a fucking mod and gone, look, it's good, isn't it? No, it looks crap. Put your epoxy resin down, leave things alone, and put it away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but at that, if you're gonna go and actually crack your wallet for something, why would it be that? You're never gonna actually use that. It doesn't even look nice as a showpiece.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, if anybody wants to know, go on vapingwithvic.com and look up review costs.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got it posted.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh God.
He's got how much
Yeah.
he charges per person or per company, and if you want to get ahead in the review list.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get
Oh,
paid.
so he's even got jumping the queue fees labeled.
He doesn't get paid. He don't get paid.
But it's a business.
It's on
it's
the
a business.
site that you do. So something's a lie here. If you get paid, that's fine. Okay. But don't lie about it.
No, sir, I don't have a problem with him making money as a reviewer. What I object to is the deceit.
If you remember Mike Vapes a while back, he was doing the same thing. Mike does the same thing. He gets paid by Vaporesso or whoever he gets paid, whatever company he reviews for. He gets the product and then he gets a fee for reviewing the product. Mike is quite open about that. If you go on his website, it tells you his fees, tells you what he charges. And Mike has said on his channel quite a few times, this is what I charge. This is what I make from it. This is my business.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. That's fine. I've no
That's
issue with that.
interesting. Vic still has pictures of his old studio as the current studio setup for his page on requesting reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think he's going to be honest about him working out of his bedroom again?
Yeah. You know, Martin, I've never been a Jay Hayes fan. I've never been a big fan of Jay, the way he does things. But I will say this for Jay. He's always been honest and upfront that it's an entertainment channel more than anything. He's always been honest and said, yeah, I make money from doing this. This is why I do it. I can't. What can you say to that? He's being honest. Well, you'd have hoped so, Lisa. You'd have hoped that that Dr. Pooh is in his turdness.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have the costs on the website, though.
Oh, he's taken it down, has he?
But he's got descriptions of everything from his free reviews.
Yeah, he's got
up to jumping the queue and prime video reviews when you get actual up closey video with your product.
Hardware showcase review, e-liquid reviews, yeah.
All money made from Vaping with Vic reviews goes to Nigel Farage.
That's sadly closer to the truth than you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to change the subject in a minute. I need my drugs.
Well, Matt, what was your side note about the disposables?
No, the disposable thing is just it was just saying about the how-to faced a lot of the reviewers had been, especially Vic, with he made a massive point about I will never review disposables, I will never be involved in a company, blah blah blah. that was the main point, really, I was making about it. It's the fact that it was so two-faced. You know, it's just beyond me. He's helping destroy the industry. Or
unjust misinformation alone.
Yeah. But, as Vic said, Vic has done more for advocacy than anybody else.
Well, he didn't say it was in a positive light.
When was this?
Well, Martin, how do you think he got to Expo the last time? I'm sure as hell he didn't hitchhike because ain't nobody picking him up.
I've got a vision of Vic at the side of the road with his leg out. Oh, dear.
Why is the small Scottish baby trying to pick a ride?
Just once it went on driving down the road.
Oh, true. Grim and Danielle have way more for advocacy than.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. They have done a shitload, those two. And they put in some real work.
They've actually done the proper research, the proper time, and spreading the right information about, what's going on.
Even when Nick has put in the odd few bits and bobs about what's been happening in the UK as well.
Yeah. He's done more for UK advocacy than Vic.
Even when, unfortunately, his father was passed
unwell.
Yeah.
And then eventually, obviously, his dad passed, which was, it's terrible. Grim was going through a hell of a lot, and he's still doing stuff, bless him. And I know Danielle does a hell of a lot behind the scenes, like chasing paperwork and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, she is dug deep into.
She really knows her stuff.
Oh yeah.
You don't want to get in an argument with her. Fucking hell, you be fucked.
You better have a squeaky clean pass. I'll tell you what.
She will fuck you up.
Well,
It was a very, very good piece of documentary work.
Yeah.
She was absolutely brilliant. But this is the person that Vic said, oh, well, see, Grim's done fuck all for the vaping in America. And criticised Grim for that, Well, at least Grim has actually tried. And he's still trying.
The only time Grim stops is when he literally says on video form, I am burnt out. I need a couple weeks off or else I'm going to go insane day in, day out, 12 hours a day, nonstop. So I get that. That I completely understand, especially like you said before, when he opens his phone in the morning and you've got between Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, nothing but, oh, this happened in this state, this happened in this, it would get to you.
People tagging him left, right, and center, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Totally agree, Martin. Totally agree. Solo, his brother, well, we won't mention him, but Mark, can't fault Mark. Mark is trying his hardest. But as Mark has said, he said it privately to us, Mark is only a small reviewer. So he's, and I don't mean in height, Mark, before you watch it. But he's only a small reviewer himself. So it's difficult.
Numbers are what they are. You're not going to get a 500,000 people off a small channel.
I mean, I was chatting to Mark privately before he first came on the show.
Yeah.
Because I'd mentioned Mark Todd. And he thought he'd missed he hadn't quite, he'd misheard it slightly, so he thought I was having a pop at him. And it's like, no, it was Todd's reviews I was having a pop at, because he's done Sweet FA either.
Oh, he's done fuck all. Did you expect him to do anything?
No.
Him and Vic are too busy slagging each other off.
Yeah, that's true.
Like a pair of 3-year-olds. Yeah, that's the guy in the shed. Lee.
Yeah.
Not the one that spills wine, the one that does high-end, reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he does the odd low-end piece if he's paid for
it.
He does. I actually quite like Todd as a person. I've met Todd. He's all right.
His reviews are quite good, yeah.
He's a nice enough bloke, but just get off your ass and do something.
Yeah.
And come to that, the biggest show probably at the minute is the Saturday show with Pugs. They've done nothing to do with advocacy.
They've been too busy taking the piss out of everybody.
Like Vic, who goes on there and gets the piss taken out of him.
Yeah, and Blumpkin having a hissy fit.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it with
But I mean, Vic's like that annoying puppy. He keeps coming back for more abuse.
Yeah, and he pees on the rug every 5 minutes.
Does that mean you can put a choke on him?
Don't forget, I mean, there was that post that he
whacked him on the nose with a newspaper, wrapped around the gold stick.
Yeah. But don't forget also, I mean, there was the post that when he was having the drama with them, saying anyone that's associated with them,
yeah,
blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And that pulled like 2 or 3 more people into the situation. And people started splitting sides even worse.
Yeah, he always does that. Yeah. Yeah, Vic likes doing the, well, so-and-so told me that you said this. Well, who said this? Well, I'm not at liberty to say.
Well, so you watch the show then?
I'm not bothered. If he wants to contact
don't care.
Me, if you want to contact me, Vic, I'm still friends with you. Send me a fucking message. Send me a message. I'll sort it out. I will have you on here, and we can have it out live. There you go.
Yeah.
There's an invite for you.
There's no problem sending him a show link.
And we will have a chat about it all.
Yeah.
And you can explain your position.
And I want an explanation on the fucking dam method. I want to know where the process thought is on that.
What, they doesn't damn well work.
We all know that there's a lot of people out there who are not doing as much as they could. And when it all goes awry, which it is, when they run out of e-liquid and they run out of mods and all the rest of it, they're going to be sat there crying.
Well, they won't, because they'll have the people that they know that manufacture the liquids on the quiet that will continue sending them stuff.
Yeah. It will. I mean, eventually, we all know, eventually it's going to run out. It will. It's a fact.
Yeah.
The rest of us are doing what we can, buying our own nicotine and buying concentrates and bits and bobs to keep us going, which is what we've got to do. I don't know. Hopefully, things might not be as bad as they seem at the moment. Things might, with it going through the way it's going at the minute, hopefully things might not be too bad.
From what I've read, Lord's actually deciding to take it to a debate, not just the presentation in the House of Lords, which was scheduled for 40 minutes and lasted 5.5 hours.
They had a lot. Yeah, they had a lot of points they wanted to raise, because it was just a sweeping statement of, right, we're banning vaping. Okay, why?
Right.
I don't say they'll overturn it, G, but I think if they don't overturn it, they will demand.
They're going to demand amendments and recommend amendments.
Those are the words that, yes, what Craig said. Those big words.
Because they've taken it to committee as well. And they don't often take bills like that to committee. And they have, which means they're looking at the tiniest detail in that bill. So they're not going to hang about on it. They have a lot of valid points that they've raised and said, this doesn't work. You push it through as written, it's going to have a lot of negative effects.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And it's going to kill a lot of people.
Well, think about
it.
If you couldn't drive out of state in the states that have banned flavors to get your juice from other states, you'd have black market in all those states already horribly, probably worse than it already is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not only that, for you to get out of your state, it's not a 20-minute, half-hour drive.
No.
Not in some of the size of it. You're talking a 4 or 5 hour drive.
Yeah, it's not
to get somewhere.
More than that.
Sorry, we're out of stock. Fuck. Yeah, I'll be back in stock next week.
Lisa, that is exactly what it is. Like trying to kill people. And if they're not trying to kill people, they're going down the mental health route and forgetting that a lot of people who do vape and use vaping to keep them semi-sane, you take that away, you're going to cause some big mental health problems on a system in the NHS is already, as you well know, Lisa, with your dad, bless him, a system that is already fucked.
That breaking point, yeah.
I don't know how much more the NHS can take. It's got to be literally.
Please stop.
Well, I don't know. I dread to think if it goes another couple of years, it's going to make a lot. We're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of major issues.
And to answer that one, Martin, if it is pharmaceutical grade, fine. But if it's agricultural grade, the impurities in it are dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, G. Yeah, the amount of addicts that. With the amount of addicts that this sounds bad. The amount of addicts that G and I know, and you come to that.
I would say, look at the building industry.
Who are coil builders? That most this sounds really bad how I'm going to say it, but don't take it how I want to say it. Most coil builders are ex-addicts of some kind.
A good majority.
Nick Devine. Nick, do not kill me for saying it, but Nick's quite open about his past issues.
By far one of if not the top half dozen best builders ever.
And Nick had his demons with addictions. Beat him through doing what he did. Turk, M-Turk.
Yeah.
You got Mike. M-Turk is another one, heroin addict. I still talk to M-Turk quite a lot because he's on my Facebook. He's on friends. Talk to M-Turk quite a lot.
I'm sorry, you got to have something twisted in your brain to be able to pull off a 30-foot stretch of fucking alien. I'm just saying.
Oh, M-Turk's very twisted. Believe me, some of the messages between us two, he will have you in stitches.
Oh, God.
They're very twisted.
Now, is that just to keep your brain active doing something and your hands doing something?
Yes and no.
For me,
it
coil
depends.
building is it's therapeutic.
Well, especially when you're first starting building and you're trying to get out of that lifestyle and everything, it's like anything else, you're learning. So now you have to memorize, breakdowns of builds and wraps and alloys and everything else and resistances and all that. And your head gets so focused on that side of things and what you're actually doing and the quality you're coming out with. You don't focus on your old,
Yeah, Ian CC Coils had addiction issues. I think Dave Watman had some sort of addiction as well. Just trying to think other coil builders. I mean, the list is endless. Tall Paul did.
Yeah.
Most of them have had sort of addictions, either be they drug related or other addictions. So they've used coil building and vaping for
OCD
and therapeutic.
Well,
Scott, I'm sorry. Do you know, G? I was just trying to remember. Thank you, Scott. Blackface. Scott. Scott had serious alcohol, and Scott won't mind me saying Scott had serious alcohol issues. And he'd be quite happy to say, for me to sit here and say he had some major issues, bless him. And he discussed it quite openly on his show. Every fucking week he'd sit there.
Nearly 2 hours.
And if you had... that's all right.
No, see?
If you had an addiction, he'd quite happily talk about it.
Yeah.
And he's one of the nicest guys. He was, when Gwendolyn was born, at 7 o'clock in the morning, remembering he's in America, the first person I had a message off, which was FaceTime, was Scott. He called me as soon as Gwendolyn had been in the world about 10 minutes, and Scott called me. Absolute fucking... Also one of the funniest blokes you'll ever meet. All I shall say, G, is dildo. I'll tell you the story after, Tyler.
Oh, God.
You'll laugh, it's funny. Right, before I go start talking about dildos and vibrators...
No, the show really has.
it's taken a dick dive. I shall let you, gentlemen. Yes, it was. I shall let you, gentlemen, do your goodbyes.
Tyler first.
I was going to, but I kind of want to see what happens to Craig real quick. I want to see the interaction.
I'm just waiting for him to get slapped.
Go on, punch him in the nuts. Punch him in the nuts. God, jab
Is
him
he
in the
frozen
ball.
on yours too?
Yep.
He looks like he's smiling, but he's
Oh, there he is.
Stop calling him a bastard. That's not nice. Now you see why he gets complaints when he's on the bus. Look at the way he's treating his poor defenceless son.
Right.
This could be a three.
For legal reasons, we must
Fuck
blur out
off.
Craig's face.
What the hell was he saying before he put the sound on? He puts the sound on and went, fuck off.
Right.
Yeah. Well, put it like this. He dropped his guts. And that, when he went like that, was him after he scratched his balls.
Oh, the retaliation
Yes.
needs to be swift and accurate,
Anyway.
Craig.
Oh, right.
Retaliation must be accurate.
So, yeah. So,
Excuse me.
Could have been worse. He could have dirty Sanchez you.
yeah.
Senor. All right.
He did, yeah.
Well, as always, everybody, thanks for being here. We do appreciate the back and forth. It kind of was on topic, and then it went that way, and ended up, well, we see where Matt ended up. But everybody have a good week. You know where we are if you need you. You know where we are if you need us. Can't fucking talk this week. Jeez. Group's there, as always. Craig, say your byes if you can smell properly enough to do so.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tyler. Yes, thank you to everyone for joining us. The group is there. I'm going to go and kill him soon. But yeah, if I'm not here next week, you know why. Yeah, the group is there. Thanks for joining us. We will be back again next week, possibly. Yeah, have a good week, and I'll pass that to Bill, unless Bill's already gone.
No, he hasn't.
Cheers, Craig. Now, it's actually been an informative show in places.
Has it?
Not quite sure we needed some of the information, but
No, it was up until about 1 hour and 50, 58, 59, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, as the guys have said, the group is always there, and you can reach out to any of us if you need us. And I hope everybody has a really good week. Over to you, Matt.
Yes, another week done. More people upset. Glad to see we're doing our job as normal. Oh,
No, it's understandable, Lisa.
well,
Oh,
obviously,
no worries at all.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Right.
No.
Yes.
I mean, the things
show.
that Lee said about you before you showed up, we're not going to mention, but
She won't believe you. You're getting yourself in the shit here. Right. Yes. If you need us, give us a shout. I hope everybody has a good week. We will return next week with another informative load of bullshit and see what's going on with the vaping stuff. We'll find it out, and we shall go from there. So, a ta-ta for now, folks. Bye.
Bye.
have a good week, everybody.
Bye.
Keep waving. Keep waving.